Welcome back to the channel, guys. As you can see, we've got the engine ripped out of this poor Pete. Poor thing. It's heartless. So what are we gonna do with that cat? Let's go find out. It's right over here. And it's a Peterbilt. 377. It's a 1999 377 Peterbilt. And our buddy Tony Fast from Fast Ag got a hold of us and said, hey, I got a neighbor that's got a truck and you guys might be interested in it because, well, I guess the engine is bad and he doesn't want it. And so we said, well, tell us more about it. And as it turns out,
had really nice, good tires. Paint looks pretty decent.
Yeah, it's good shape, good truck. 377s aren't quite as popular as like a 379, but overall it's the same chassis, just a little different hood on it. But it's gonna be a great fit on our farm. And the best part is we got it pretty cheap.
I got it very cheap.
Paid $6,000 for the truck. It's pretty low miles, honestly. And it had originally a Cat 3176. No.
It's like a C12 or something like that.
Yeah.
We haven't really looked at.
We'll look at it closer.
Smaller.
Bottom line is the engine's got coolant in the oil and it's got problems. It's not running very good. But
although when we did get the truck, just for kicks and giggles, I turned the key and it fired right up and I shut it off and there was no oil pressure and no oil in the system, and so yeah, I didn't run it very long.
It could be a parts engine for Big Brute though, because they use basically the same engine.
Yeah.
So this is it, and we are going to put that 3406B in here.
And the 18-speed transmission in this thing. This has got a 10-speed.
Yep.
But this does have a little bit heavier axles on it. We were kind of concerned about it at first, but they are a little bit bigger, so it should be fine for that 3406.
So we're going from, what year is this one? It's a
1990.
1990 Peterbilt 379 with aluminum frame that's cracked in multiple places. That's why we're discarding that truck. Plus it's thrashed. It's done its job. It's good. And we're going to put its heart in this lightly used 377 1999. And that's going to be awesome.
Well,
plus, we've got some goodies coming to that engine. So I think in the end, it's going to be a sweet truck. So let's go. Let's get in the shop. Let's get to work. Now 377's in the shop. It's time to start pulling it apart. First off, the hood. Get that off there. Then the radiator, intercooler, and condenser. Get that off there. And then we'll probably call it a night. Pick it up tomorrow. And get that engine yanked out. It's gonna be fun. Now I wouldn't call this a restoration because the paint's good enough on this truck in good enough condition that it's not really worth doing a whole paint job on at this point. The frame, you know, it's being a little salt here and there, but I mean, you guys can see, that's pretty good. I mean, that's 70–80%. You can see the rock chips back here. It's gonna get that. We got black paint, we'll touch all that up. But when it comes to the truck itself, there's a few rock chips back here. But I mean, you just look at it. That doesn't need a paint job anytime soon. And that saves us a lot of work because we got a lot to do. So, but we'll call this a repower. How about that? Cat repower. I like it. Smoking! Hey, you're supposed to blow it off. All right, so test. 3/4, same impact.
It's just spinning on the backside right here. We gotta pull the bumper off.
Should have bought a Kenworth.
Oh, Nick.
Volvo. We should have bought another Volvo. Should have bought a Volvo. Oh, that's about a refarming the Volvo.
So okay if I pick you guys up? All right, thanks, appreciate that. Well, some of you didn't give me permission, but I got the vast majority of permission to pick you up. Let's go for a joyride. Floor it! Floor it! Floor it! Floor it! We could just set it here, just set it in between the posts, you're fine. Floor it! Floor it! Floor it! Oh, look at that. Is it running? Hang on a second.
You hear that clutch lightly rubbing? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we need a new fan? You supposed to put new fans on this thing when you do that? Probably. It's old. It's hard.
Okay. I think in the old days, what you gotta do is you gotta throw your back out. But to start the motor, you just reef on it. Start! So there's a tool that I made a while back that I use every once in a while when you have bolts that are tough to get undone. Grab a 3/4 ratchet, and we just tried to see what it would do and show you what we're dealing with. Nick's trying to take off a cover for the transmission inside the cab so you can pull the shifter out. And Peterbilt decided to use Phillips screwdrivers, or Phillips bits. And these things right here. Yeah. Well, what happens is you get a little salt, a little rust, because this truck's got a little bit of salt damage, not bad, and they get fused. And you all know about Phillips, when you try to turn them out, they fuse together. So we came up with this little nifty tool. Here's this right here. You use a impact air chisel, and then I welded a nut here, which then has a socket, like a 1/2-inch socket adapter, then it necks down to a 3/8, then it necks down to like a Phillips. So as you're chiseling on it, it vibrates the rust, and then you slowly turn it back and forth, and then it starts to loosen up those threads, and then hopefully you can get it out.
You do have these, where you're supposed to use a hammer, but they just don't work that great.
They're a little bit tougher, but the thing is you got a nice vibration all the time when you're working it back and forth, and it seems to work on the first one. Nick was trying to get off a couple other ones. He was at the point, he's like, you know what, we should weld a nut on it and cut it out. I'm like, probably gonna have to, but let's just try this method and see how it works. Yep, I gotta put it on. So it actually worked out pretty well. Here you go. Here's the Phillips. And then we have a little chisel back there that he's gonna take off some of the ones that didn't work. But this is what I'm talking about. Let me pull it apart real quick. Okay, so I made this real quick. This here, welded onto a chisel end, welded a nut on it so I can grip onto it. And then I had this adapter, so it's a 1/2 to 3/8. It goes like that. And then this piece right here, I had this combination. So just the vibration alone worked out some of that rust. We were able to get most of it out with just one that he's gonna have to grind on. Hope that helps if you guys are needing some new tricks, because I'm all about new tricks. If people teach me stuff, I want to learn. And I hope you guys can learn some stuff that we've learned that's worked for us. You can take it, you can leave it. That's up to you guys. We made a decision. See this Wilson trailer that we just got on a trade for that grain deck? And our other trailer, that steel trailer, we sold both of them. Don't worry, we're getting a different one. Taking two, getting a nice one. Decided to. We got a good deal with a company, and you'll find out soon. Very, very soon. And that truck that we're working on, oh yeah, it's gonna get a nice good trailer. We made the decision to do it, and I think it's gonna be a smart decision. So anyways, let's go into a good home.
How hot it's getting.
Oh, it's getting hot. It's like almost to the point where I can't have a touch of my fingers.
Just want to give a shout out to all those that salt the roads. Actually, thank you. It does keep people safe. But it sure stinks to be a mechanic. Actually, might try the Milwaukee. See if I can do it now. Max power. Ready?
Yep.
We've got the big old 1-inch impact, but our adapter broke. And we don't have enough extensions to get down in here. I'll show you. Hey.
I can't find it now.
It's down there underneath this harness and all these wires. Leg arms is holding the hinge wrench on the bottom of it. We have to use that extension, this extension to get to the impact. Probably have to just use the other method. Let's get off here. Come on. Oh, get off there. There we go. Yeah, it feels pretty easy, honestly. I'm surprised that.
It's transferring pretty darn good through the wrench.
It must be coming off because I'm turning it by hand now.
Okay, it's off.
Okay. Come on, I got it.
You got it?
There we go, fine threads. See all the junk on that? Yeah. Okay, to our knowledge, we've got the engine and transmission fully disconnected from this old 377 Peterbilt. And I got a chain wrapped around the back end of the transmission, hooked up. We're really not sure where to hook on the front of this engine. Usually they've got a nice little hook here. And there's this, but this looks like the bracket that obviously, well, it is your bracket that holds your fan on and other stuff. And it's pretty heavy iron and it's bolted pretty good, but I just don't know if I want to hook to that. But there's no other place on the front of this engine to hook on. So if it bends it, we'll delete this. And you guys will never know because it'll make us look perfect. And if it doesn't bend it, we'll show it. And you guys will be like, wow, that was a great idea.
But I'll talk about it. I'm proof.
He's more honest than I am, I guess. All right, we gotta roll the truck forward. Got the skid steer in here. We're gonna yank it forward, put it underneath that thing. A good old crane. Pulled a few inches out of stuff these days. I like that crane. Is it out of gear? Yep, it's out of gear. Is the steering lock on? There we go. I think we need a new steering wheel. We're flaking. And we're dragging all the wheels because our parking brake's still on. Parking brake's still on. It's just dragging all the wheels. There's some skids. Oh yeah. All right, we gotta try to center this thing, roughly. That's probably good right there. Love it. I love it. Everyone's cheering for you right now.
Yay!
Go leg arms, yay!
He's the best! He's so much
I wish I could be leg arms. Okay, go ahead and do the honors.
Yay!
I'll watch. Yeah, it looks pretty true. What are we hooked on over here? Oh, you're just around that? Oh. Well, I should probably...
Gotta rip that whole bracket off.
You sure you don't want to be on here or around both of them?
Well, it's ripping, I don't know. What do you think?
That'd be pretty big to rip that apart. Well, it's lifting the front of the engine up. How are we balanced? Lifting the front of the engine up again. I wonder if we need to balance it, tip it more. It's really tipping. I think we got to shift it further to the back. Did anyone check the engine oil? It smells like engine oil. All right, round two. Here we go. We shifted the hoist back just a little bit, so hopefully it gets a little bit better weight displacement. I still want it a little heavy in the back so it tips and comes out, but she's loose. Oh. Something shifted. Okay, all these harnesses are starting to come up on this side. So, hey Scott. Yeah, let's see here. We're gonna run into a problem over here with this engine mount. It's gonna lift all these harnesses up and they go all the way down to the front. Right there. They're all gonna get ripped up. So we gotta take that plate off the side, or we gotta try to stuff those all around it. Because they all come down to right here, which is, those airlines? I think those are airlines. The brakes. All right, how are we sitting back there? Oh, are we catching right here on the frame? Getting close. If we get that above that.
Yep, and then we can slide it over.
It's just working its way up.
Here, Nick, there's a bar on the other side.
There we go. It just about popped over it. All right, so now these I gotta push these lines under right here.
Can you?
Yep, I think so. I can get some of them. I got one. That's two. I think we can push the truck back a little bit now. Okay, yeah, oh, yeah, I wouldn't go any higher, yeah. Are you gonna use it? Okay, go ahead.
I guess so.
Put it like right here. Gotta go up, gotta go up. Okay, stop. Oh, the shifter just fell down. I gotta try to get that up. Okay, stop. We're gonna hit right here, I gotta raise it.
Watch out for the screw there, Nick.
Okay.
Still good?
Yep. Okay, stop. So it's gonna hit here on that PTO. So we'll have to try to tilt it or keep lifting it. Keep raising it up. Okay, right here. Okay. That's probably pretty good. You gonna start letting it down now? There. Step number 2. Got the engine out.
Wait, what was step number 1?
Oh,
to get to step number 2.
That's
Gotcha,
right.
That's right.
Made it.
Okay,
So,
good.
now we're here. The C12's on the floor. It's definitely a little corroded. Definitely seen some road salt. The frame, overall, not bad. There's a couple areas a little flaky. I think we'll go through the wire brush, clean up as much as we can, and
To be honest, it really isn't as bad of rust for salt.
Oh, yeah.
It really is not. It's pretty much surface rust.
yeah.
But enough to make the bolts a pain.
For $6,000 rolling chassis with $6,000 worth of tires on it.
Oh yeah, easy. And
You can't really
$6,000 worth of fuel in it. And $6,000 worth of batteries in it. But we
Yeah.
didn't get a hat. Seriously?
But that 3406B is gonna be beautiful. But it's not gonna fit. We gotta run some measurements on our, we haven't even done that yet. Ran measurements on our brackets for our engine mounts on the back of the bell housing and the front. I'm sure they're not gonna be just, well, I shouldn't say I'm sure. Maybe that block is the same length from there to there. I doubt it. Well, hold this.
No.
This is the measurement.
Completely different. Completely different. So about right here, roughly.
45, 46 inches, something like that. I bet you it's the same. I bet it's the same.
I say it's about 46 inches.
I think it's the same. Well, it's 48, 9.5.
But if you look at these brackets here, just since we got it out of the truck, I haven't really looked at close, but they do have a couple more bolts back there. So here's the bracket, and I think you can just move the bracket back.
Yeah, it only needs to go probably one bolt. So it's probably set up for that way. And I think the front engine mounts.
Those are the radiator.
I mean,
Those are the
Joe
engine.
might- Yeah, so those are wings definitely. 4-inch spread on that. Yeah, 4-inch. So technically that front might just fit right on there.
Now we have to make sure that that front bracket goes right where this is because you're spacing your radiator and fan. Then we'll figure out
That's the
that
other,
stuff.
The other dilemma. The radiator was held up by these brackets, which are attached to that engine. I don't think we can reuse this piece. And this one's bolted right to the intake manifold, which is on the opposite side of that engine. So with all that, we got to build a new way to mount that radiator.
But Nick, it says cat.
It does say kitty.
It says cat right there.
Purr.
Pretty
Yeah.
kitty. So I went ahead and hooked up the tractor to the cap motor, hold it outside. I'm gonna rinse it off really, really good. And taped up all the little ports and stuff that I'd be concerned with so that water doesn't get in there, and clean it up really, really good. And then what we're gonna do is paint this thing. And then the next step after it's all painted, it's ready to go in the truck. But we'll find time for that when we get there. But right now it just needs to be painted, so let's grab the power washer and rinse this thing off. And yeah, you know, make it squeaky clean. It's gonna look nice. Guess what? It's time to paint this cap motor. Let's put some primer on it, put some yellow on it, make it look kind of snazzy looking and pretty. And then we'll put it in the truck and let it get dirty, you know, kind of stuff. So yeah, here's the thing. I wanted to paint it outside, but we ran out of decent days and I had too many other things going on that I couldn't get at it. And as you can tell, today is not a good day to paint outside. Yeah, it snowed a little bit. And it's a little cold. So yeah, we're not doing that outside. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a really cool looking, snazzy looking paint booth. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna look really, really nice here. And that way, hopefully I don't get overspray on the tractor and other stuff. But the thing is, there's so much dust in this shop that if it does drift a little bit around, it's gonna stick probably to the dust instead of stuff. I'm hoping, but I really do not enjoy painting. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Not fun. But it's gotta be done. So let's get at it so we can get this thing ready to go in the truck and move forward. I don't wanna do it! All right, I feel better. So what I got going on here is I got a big roll left over from my house, and it's this painter's plastic. Super, super, super thin. And I will drape it and make a tent, and I will try to paint it inside the tent. And let's do it. Isn't that the niftiest thing you've ever seen? Beautiful, right? Okay. I've got my little cute door that can walk in. I'll get a little piece of plastic, cut it out, so I can have a little entrance. And then if you want to come in here, I'll show you. So basically over here, we're planning on putting kitchen cabinets. We're probably going to do 3 cabinets across here. The refrigerator will be here, and then we've got the living room right there, and then a bean bag. I need a bean bag in there too. That'd be kind of nice. And then Brian, when you show up to help fix that bud, you can stay here and hang out with me for a little bit. Let's finish this out so I can get this painted. I need to prime it, let it cure, and then just a slight tacky. I'd like just a tiny bit, maybe where the point where you can put your fingers on it but doesn't put an imprint. And then I'll shoot some paint on it. Is that the correct way? I don't know. We'll find out. Or I'll just wait until it's all dry, and then I'll paint it. Either way, it's getting primer, and then paint. I need more coffee. Yes. Yummy. All right, let's get going. Let's get it done. No girls allowed. You're not allowed to be in here. This is my place. I made it. Nick, you're not allowed either. You're part of that club too, but. That'll keep some of the paint off the manifold so it doesn't just stink really, really bad when running it. I don't care if a little bit of paint gets on it and it burns it off. I'm not worried. I just figured why not wrap some aluminum foil around it. It's good enough. It'll work. Well, it's primed. I didn't count for this though. I wasn't thinking. A little bit on the concrete. The paint was drifting down on the plastic. Plastic's so light, I step on it, or the hose moves it, pulls out of the way, and as I'm painting on one side, I can't tell that I moved it. Got a little paint on the floor. I hate painting. Not fun. But anyways, it's primed. And then give it a little bit, and a couple hours, throw some paint on it. And I'll be done with that. And then I'll throw some cardboard where I walk around on. Okay. It's yellow. Love it. Love it. Love it. It's kind of fumey in here too. Stinky. Is there a lot of overspray? Oh yeah. Is there tons of runs? Oh yeah. Is it going into a truck with a hood shut and dirt covering it and finally grease? And you'll never see them? Probably. But that's oil-based paint, and so the best way to clean it up is use some gasoline. And I got a little bit on my beard. Took some solvent, rubbed in my beard. Took some Dawn soap, rubbed it out. Got all that nice, icky, yellow paint. And we're good. So, yay. One less thing to think about. Let it sit overnight, and I'll see you tomorrow. This big motor right here is longer than the motor we pulled out of here. So what we're doing is we're pulling the motor. Anyways, we got to take the back engine mount brackets off the frame, and we got to shift them and put them back further because the block itself is longer. So this here, that's going to stay the same on this point right here, okay? But the black, or these back mounts right here are further back on this motor. The mounts on the truck, because it was a shorter motor, are probably sitting about here, okay? So we're removing those, shoving them back, and then this motor should be able to go blip right inside. It's going.
Right, yeah.
So the problem is where those bolts are at, they're actually on the bracket that holds the cab up. So he's got a block here, and he got a block on the other side to keep the cab up. Try to take those bolts out so we can shift that back. At least that's the idea.
Okay. Got that one. Good. We've reached that time. Let's put the old kitty inside the Peterbilt. Got her all cleaned up down here. There's some things we still got to do, but we're kind of in the heat of some farming season starting, so we're just going to try to get this engine in here and roll this out, so that way when we get a chance to get back to it, we won't be under pressure of this. But it'd be nice to get the shop cleared out. So let's get the kitty in the Pete. That's working. So I'm gonna start running the chain, lowering the engine down, try to tilt the transmission to get it up under the cab while he slowly pulls on it. A bunch of arm signals and yelling and screaming, and Bunking and banging, a couple paint scrapes, and we'll get it in. Okay, then we lower it down. We need bigger leaf springs in the front. And there goes the weight. Okay. Is it running yet?
Yep.
That's what I thought. It's missing its little whistle thingy that goes right there. We've got a special one planned for that. We'll show that soon.
Try to get this off before you do that.
Ow! Uh-oh, camera. Oh.